Hello, trading is closed on November 6, 2020. We'll start with our disclaimer as we always do. Trade at your own risk. This is my plan for Monday. We said Thursday's pattern was negative. We looked for lower prices and we got them. The close will change the way I do things. This negative pattern persists. This is just a pause. And unless we have a rally, I look for lower prices. A rally at the open. I look for lower prices on Monday. This is the pattern with the early low, and these are the patterns for next week. And Monday also has the early low. Early on, MEJT said ultimately higher price would print. They did. Said this rally would retrace, this drop would retrace, and all that's happened. This is bar 13, actually counting the X of a combo cell, bar 13 of a sequential cell. These things, again, haven't worked all that well, but when they work, there's a big drop. When they fail, there's usually a big rally. And because of the sentiment indicators, which have reached an extreme, I think a big rally from here is pretty unlikely. We started out low, rallied to a high in the final hour, couldn't hold on to any of the highs at the close. That's negative stuff. You either invalidate it by taking this high out early, and preferably this high too, or else lower prices come. We're stalling right at this major league trend line. If you want to stall here and have it hold, you really want to reverse from this pretty quickly. If you just piddle around here and don't drop, that trend line is less likely to hold. So if it's going to work, you should really start dropping pretty quickly. There are all kinds of ways to count this. I'm pretty sure of what's going on through February 27th of this year, but I've changed the count since then. I'm going to call this an A, B, C. The B is about halfway through. There's a fib relationship between A and C. If you look at wave C, you have an A, a B, and a C with great fibs. In this last jiggle up, you have an A, a B, and a C with good fibs. You got really excellent Fibonacci balance right here at the highs of this week. So if we drop from here, it makes good sense. And if we drop in the wave C, blue C, it should ideally be comparable to this big drop we had in wave blue A. So we're kind of at a very critical junction here. If we don't invalidate this pattern by moving up, and if we start moving down pretty quickly, it could be a long, fast drop. Monday's pattern has the early low. Doesn't mean you won't gap up. Typically it's a rally day with a last hour high. Early weakness leads to further weakness instead, even if the rest of the day rallies. Had an early low and a late high. Rallied all day, closed under all the intraday highs. Indicates a failure of the rally attempt. Don't forget that Monday's open can substitute for today's close. So until we see where we open, we can't be positive of that. Only gapping and promptly overtaking today's high, and ideally yesterday's, would invalidate the pattern. Sentiment indicators have reached levels in which a sizable decline should not be too far away in terms of time. So this is a time to be cautious if you're a bull. We had this FOMC announcement this week. Typically you've got three waves. One over it, one under it, which is larger in magnitude, and then one over it, which is the largest of all. But if it stops short like this, it typically fails in a big way. So if you're a bull, you really want to invalidate this fast, because that's another negative sign. And I'm looking for lower prices Monday, perhaps much lower before too much longer, unless we invalidate this pattern by taking out this high fast. And that's today's call.